Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, 1 year after the murder of an Edna cheerleader, a memorial scholarship is honoring her.
A new investigation is launched into the shooting death of a 3-year-old boy.
Plus, the Texas Senate will see a bill this legislative session that could ban THC products in the state.
We are looking for quite a bit of weather in the next 7 days. As a matter of fact, today all we have is cloud cover, but by tomorrow, this storm overhead will be giving us some significant rainfall over the weekend. We'll be talking about how much and when coming up in a moment.
And the Shiner Comanches and the Ganado Indians look to keep their season alive tonight in the regional final matchups. That's coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Shawna Currie.
And I'm Don Brubaker.
A 3-year-old who died from a gunshot wound is the subject of a multi-agency investigation now.
25 News Now weekend anchor Amaya Norman joins us with an update on the story. Amaya?
Yes, Shawna and Don, thank you. Family members confirmed the 3-year-old who died in the shooting was Marco Javier Garza Jr., who goes by MJ. Victoria police are investigating but are not releasing any details about the incident. We have learned that Child Protective Service is also investigating and have an autopsy has been ordered as part of the investigation into MJ's death. The shooting happened in the 13,000 block of North Navarro on Monday. Even though we used pictures of the 3-year-old yesterday with parents' permission, the boy's family has since requested his photo to not be used. The Victoria Police Department says they will provide updates to us as they are able to release more information. Shawna and Dawn, back to you.
Thank you, Amaya. A memorial scholarship has been set up to honor an Edna cheerleader killed in her family's apartment 1 year ago today. Lisbeth Medina was a 16-year-old Edna cheerleader. Her accused killer, Rafael Romero, is awaiting trial. His trial was scheduled to start earlier this week, but has now been pushed back to at least February. The Edna class of 1983 set up a memorial scholarship at the Edna Banking Center in Lisbeth's honor for students who want to follow in her cheerleading footsteps.
A broken water line that caused some changes to school drop-off in Victoria this morning is now fixed. Victoria police were on scene early this morning on North and Brownson Streets. North Street was blocked off in both directions in front of Patty Welder Middle School. As of 2 this afternoon, city officials say the line had been repaired and crews were doing cleanup. They also say water main breaks get worse during droughts and rapid temperature swings like what we've been seeing in Victoria and across the region. We certainly have, and now let's take a first look at your forecast. Here's First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Bettis. And yeah, we are having both. We're having some temperature swings, and definitely, Mac, we're in a drought situation.
Yes, we are, and a lot of that may be dealt with over the weekend, Don. We're looking for some heavy rain to roll in. Right about now, all we have is cloud cover and, of course, the cooler weather with that north wind. But right about here, you can see it forming. That is the next big thing that's going to roll over our area over the weekend and giving us a significant chance for some heavy rain. In fact, Sunday, maybe a complete washout. We'll be talking more about that, taking a look at your 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Toss it back to you.
Mac, thank you. Officials of the Food Bank of the Golden Crescent report an increase in food insecurity across rural communities. Officials tell us they are seeing a 12 to 14% increase in the number of individuals they are serving, and more individuals are registering for their mobile distributions. The Food Bank of the Golden Crescent, which serves 11 counties, received a $500,000 grant from Feeding Texas. That's part of a personal donation of $20 million from the CEO of HEB.
HEB is set to host the 24th annual Feast of Sharing holiday dinner in Victoria. On December 18th, a free delicious meal will be served from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Victoria Community Center that's located at 2905 North Street. The event will also feature live music, arts and crafts, children's activities, and entertainment for all ages. This holiday season, HEB celebrates by giving thanks to its customers and bringing family, friends, and neighbors together.
The Texas Senate will pursue a ban on THC products next year. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick says retailers exploit a law passed in 2019 to sell unregulated and potentially harmful consumable THC products. Patrick said Wednesday that the THC ban would be designated as Senate Bill 3. The low bill number means it is among his top priorities for the upcoming legislative session. The Texas Tribune reports Texas has not legalized marijuana in any form for broad use. Hemp and marijuana plants are both cannabis plants. Marijuana plants have high THC. Hemp, the source for CBD, has low THC.
Our viewer poll today, we're asking, should Texas focus on marijuana legalization instead of a ban? And the yeses have inched up just a little bit, gaining some strength there, but 59% of our voters say that they feel that legalization should be the focus. But we want to hear from you. Visit our website, crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part. And we'll take a look at the latest results coming up on 25 News Now at 10. Well, Texas lawmakers are considering social media bans for minors as schools face challenges. The Texas Tribune reports lawmakers have filed multiple bills in the 2025 legislative session to rein in social media use among minors. One of the bills includes an outright ban on anyone under the age of 18 from signing up for an account. School districts are struggling to control the spread of cyberbullying, pornographic images, and online exploitation among their students. Studies show 95% of youth ages 13 to 17 report using social media.
A growing teacher certification scandal is shaking the Texas education system. The Texas Education Agency says at least 100 educators across the state may have cheated to pass their certification exams. Investigators say nearly 40 of those educators worked in Houston area school districts. The scheme reportedly operated out of Harris County and was led by 3 former Houston ISD employees. Prosecutors said the scheme relied on test centers in Houston. 2 proctors are accused of taking payments and ignoring the fraud. Texas-based Southwest and American Airlines lifted their fourth quarter forecasts on Thursday. Both airlines say passenger demand is strong tending this year. Dallas-based Southwest Air expects fourth quarter revenue per available seat mile to be up between 5.5% and 7%. It also said it was encouraged by revenue trends and forward bookings. Fort Worth-based American Airlines also lifted its fourth quarter forecasts, sending its shares up nearly 10%. If you're looking for work, Workforce Solutions Golden Crescent is hosting a hiring event on December 12th from 10 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon at the Golden Crescent Workforce Center in downtown Victoria. Scaffold builders, scaffold leads, and carpenters are being hired for the Formosa site. Job seekers are encouraged to bring their resume, Safety Council badge, and TWIC card. The event offers on-the-spot interviews, assistance for individuals with disabilities. Translation services are also available.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Simply hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6. The acting director of the Secret Service outlines changes following the assassination attempt on President-elect Trump.
Also ahead, New York police release a photo to help solve the fatal shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
Welcome back. The acting director of the Secret Service on Capitol Hill today discussing the changes he's making to the department after the assassination attempt on President-elect Trump in July. Acting Director Ronald Rowe says those changes include increasing staffing and expanding the use of drones at events.
The acting director says the agency is, in his words, reorganizing and reimagining its culture and how it operates.
Today, the acting director of the Secret Service says accountability is occurring after the assassination attempt on President-elect Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. Ronald Rowe says 4 areas of deficiencies were identified.
Communications, protective advance processes, command and control processes, and coordination with external entities.
Rowe says he's implemented changes to prevent the failures from happening again. It includes increasing the number of agents assigned to Trump, expanding the use of drones, and mandating a unified command center in one location for all events.
We are operating in a heightened threat environment with expanding protection requirements. And this requires a shift in the Secret Service's levels of protection, readiness, and sustainability.
On July 13th, a shooter on a rooftop fired his rifle at Trump as he stood behind the podium at an outdoor rally, shooting Trump in the ear. The Secret Service criticized for inadequately protecting Trump. The agency's director at the time, Kimberly Cheadle, resigned. Rowe says the quality of the advance work in preparation of Trump's visit absolutely did not meet the expected standard of the agency.
Let me be clear. There will be accountability, and that accountability is occurring. It is an extensive review that requires time to ensure due process.
The hearing turning explosive after Republican Congressman Pat Fallon accused Rowe of putting agents out of position during a 9/11 memorial so Rowe could sit behind President Biden.
You endangered
President Biden's life,
Congressman. Vice President Harris's life because you put those agents out of position.
Back to the updates to the Secret Service. Rowe says he wants to have continuous evaluations and audits of the agency to look for any areas of weakness. He says that will help with quality control and accountability. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
New York police are hoping a newly released photo can help solve the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Thompson was shot by a masked gunman Wednesday morning as he walked to a conference in Midtown. The shooter then fled on an e-bike into Central Park. Investigators say the photo was taken at a hostel on the Upper West Side where the suspect was seen wearing a mask. Police are also examining unusual markings on bullets found at the scene, believed to be linked to a grudge against insurance companies. A husband in Texas is bringing Christmas joy to his wife who has serious health issues through an eye-popping display.
JD Miles has their story.
The joy, and everybody's out and people are happy and people are giving.
Whether it's trips to see ice sculptures, weekend visits to snowy places, or holiday parties, nothing brings more joy to Nashiel Jules and her husband Mark than the season of Christmas. But a failing heart and immunity issues have limited her ability to walk only short distances.
And so a lot of those usual Christmas things that people do, I can't do.
So we wanted to bring Christmas to us.
And that's why their home in McKinney looks like this. Christmas is all around the couple's home on Palermo Way. Over the last 9 years, it's grown into a must-see attraction for families with kids.
And look at the gingerbread. Look at the little gingerbread family.
Who marvel at the 150 decorations that started with a husband bringing the magic of Christmas home to his wife.
My heart desire was to see her desires come to fruition.
75 inflatables with more than 1 million lights. There may be bigger holiday displays out there, but none with more meaning behind them.
Our light display, our love displayed in this light display towards my wife and her towards me, that has touched many people.
I'm going to start crying because I don't know where I'd be without him. I mean, he has been with me through everything.
The couple collects donations to the American Heart Association as well as prayer requests. Their prayer is simply another Christmas together so they can continue to share with their neighbors the gift of light.
It makes me smile. If I'm having a bad day, it makes me smile. And just knowing that our love really is what keeps us going and keeps it together. You know, there are some times where I feel like giving up and I'm like, I don't feel good, you know, but he keeps me going.
In McKinney, J.D. Miles, CBS News, Texas.
Here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Victoria Advocate. A Victoria County Commissioner is set to retire after 20 years in the court. And on National Cookie Day, the Victoria Public Library handed out the sweet treats to community members. You can read these stories and more at victoriaadvocate.com or pick up a copy at a store near you.
Well, good evening, everybody. We're looking at 62 degrees. The northeast wind got a little bit stronger today, and the cooler air rolled into our area. The high today was only a 64, which is even below our normal temperature, and I don't get to say that very often. The rainfall, well, I got 3 or 4 drops on the windshield, but nothing officially. Of course, for the month, we've had the 22, which was yesterday. And for the year, we're at 3391. That's 4.5 below our annual rainfall average over the last 30 years. Coming up, we'll be talking about the rain. It's going to get heavy over the weekend. We'll have all that in a moment. Well, good evening, everybody. We still have football here in the Crossroads, and tomorrow night, for those of you going from Tidehaven for the Tigers all the way to versus Lexington, that's going to be at Cy-Fair Stadium in Houston, and it's going to be a little chilly. Looking for cloudy skies, chilly weather, and damp conditions. Game time starts at 51 and ends at 49, so good luck to all of our teams in the playoffs, but it's certainly feeling like December out there. Now today, all we had was the thick cloud cover. All of the heavier rain has already moved out to the east, but right about here you can see the formation of the next big thing. This is an upper air storm. You know, we have like a hurricane that we can feel the wind down at the surface circulating. Sometimes these storms are up in the upper atmosphere, still causing the circulation, and there you see the effects of it, the rain and the snow up there. Now, as far as we're concerned, well, tonight will be fairly quiet, no precipitation other than maybe a mist. Other than that, we're looking for tomorrow when that storm starts to move. Now, as it moves on Friday, generally speaking, we're going to be on the overcast side with rain late in the day. But then when that thing gets over us on Saturday, Sunday, boy, I tell you, we're looking for some significant rainfall. Now tonight, you can see the temperatures, the freeze line, basically East Texas, Dallas, down to Abilene and over to Lubbock. So they're getting the coldest air. But as far as we're concerned for tomorrow, we're looking for high temperatures to be barely in the upper 50s. So yeah, even cooler than today as we continue to slowly get more and more north wind coming in. So far, we haven't seen any Arctic outbreaks. So all of this is basically maritime Pacific air that's rolling into our area. Now, that's your high for tomorrow. Now, this is the rain forecast as we go forward 72 hours. Now, if we go to Friday afternoon, you can see how not a lot of rain, but still on the cloudy side. Then we go to Saturday, and all of a sudden, rain starts moving in. That's Saturday. Sunday, it gets even heavier. And there, by the time we get to Sunday, we could have 1 to 2, maybe even 3 inches of rainfall around here. Heavier totals right along the immediate coastline. For those of you down in Matagorda and Calhoun County, you got to consider that. What does that mean? It's going to be wet, cold, and sloppy. and we may have enough rain on Sunday that we may see a little localized flooding problems. Here's future clouds and radar. You can see again in the short term how Friday looks, generally in the overcast side, but late Friday night we start seeing the little showers begin to develop, and then we get to Saturday and then it gets real complicated. You can see that system coming across Texas, producing some significant rain to the north, and then on Saturday we're going to get some heavier showers rolling into our region as well. So here's the long-term forecast, the global forecast system, looking at dampness for the area, and then more dampness for the area on Saturday. Sunday blossoms out, and then finally Monday that pulls away. But as that system pulls away, we start seeing a real cold snap coming into North Texas. It's not coming to our area just yet, but let's just say some of that cold air will be filtering in, and all of a sudden next week, well, it's really going to feel like December. Temperatures are going to be much colder. So let's take a look at what's happening in your short-term day planner. For those of you in Port Lavaca, you're looking at high temperatures only around 58 tomorrow. Cloudy skies all day with a little bit of light rain, very light. And then your 7-day forecast, it gets really heavy on Saturday and Sunday. Already put up an alert. You know, and tell your friends that looks very sloppy Saturday and Sunday. And then by Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, we start seeing overnight lows down into the 30s. Ouch, that feels cold already. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone. And here's Shawna.
All right, thanks, Mac. Well, now we send it over to Max Williams with sports, and a little bit earlier in the week than what we're normally used to, but we've got some football going on tonight, some playoffs.
Yeah, Shawna, in the 2A ranks there, we got two regional final matchups there with Ganado and Shiner, but also Thursday is our Athlete of the Week. So who will it be? Find out in a few minutes here in sports. All right, Emma, tonight we have two regional final matchups here in the playoffs with Ganado facing Marlin and Shiner facing the Junction Eagles here tonight. But before we get to these games here tonight and preview them, we're going to look here at our Athlete of the Week. And who will it be? It'll be tight end quarterback Cale Russell. Here's more for our Athlete of the Week. This week, Athlete of the Week goes to Tidehaven quarterback Cale Russell, who led the Tigers to a 35-13 victory over the Van Fleck Leopards last week. Russell ran for 3 touchdowns and threw for 1 passing touchdown in their victory there last week. Even with all those stats he piled up, though, for Russell, he still gave credit and shout-out to his offensive line.
Linemen got a good push. They got to the linebackers. Jakin, the running back, was a great blocker. Our receivers blocked it well. So it was just me just following my guys and trusting my guys that they're going to get the job done so that, you know, I can do what I did.
Now, even though Cale gives credit to his teammates and everyone on the field, Tidehaven head coach David Lucio knew that Cale was going to be a special talent at a young age.
Cale's always been a hard worker. The first time I ever met Cale, when I first got the job here, his dad's one of my coaches, and I was walking by the gym, and he was in the gym by himself, and he was in the 2nd grade, I think, and he was doing drills by himself. And that's not common for a 2nd grader to be drilling, so usually they're jacking up threes and pretending they're trying to dunk it and stuff, and he was sitting there doing drills. And that was when I knew he was going to be special.
With Russell being this driving force for this offense since he's been here, he always wants to accept the challenge in front of him, and no bigger one than tomorrow night.
I wouldn't say nerves, I wouldn't say pressure. We feel like pressure is an opportunity for for greatness, so we look forward to pressure. We look forward to games like this because, that's what we strive for. We strive to be playing in December.
Russell and the Tigers are hoping to reach the 3A Division II state championship back-to-back years with a big win tomorrow night versus the Lexington Eagles. Wish Tidehaven luck, and congrats to Cale Russell for being this week's Athlete of the Week. Again, props again to Cale Russell for being this week's Athlete of the Week. Now, Tidehaven's going to play tomorrow night there, again, versus the Lexington Eagles. But tonight's games, we got Ganado and Shiner. And again, for Ganado, they're going to be playing there in San Marcos. Then for Shiner, playing in San Antonio. So, sports reporter Ray Robinson is covering the Ganado versus Marlin game tonight in San Marcos here. Before kickoff, Ray's going to give us a preview of what to expect here in tonight's game.
Reporting live at San Marcos, Texas at Toyota Rattler Stadium, getting ready for some high school playoff football. And yeah, the weather out here is a little gloomy, but please don't let that dictate the atmosphere for what will be played here shortly as the Ganado Indians getting ready to take on the Marlin Bulldogs. Ganado, a team fresh off their hardest fought victory to date, and another Crossroads team in the Refugio Black Cats, but still saw them walk away with the victory 14-6. Now on paper, it looks that Ganado is the team that is destined to win this game 12-1. As Marlin has a record of 10-3. But one thing that is pointing out to me as I'm looking over the stats here is it looks that Marlin is the better defensive team. So the real question going into tonight's game is, what does Ganado's offense look like against a stout defense in Marlin? Max, back to you.
All right, Ray, now we go over to Shiner here. We got to go back to 1997 to find the last time the Comanches there missed the postseason there. While the Comanches program is no stranger there to success, head coach Daniel Bedeker finds himself leading quite a young group of guys here. They had a rebuild last season, are suddenly right back to playing December football. While the guys are young, they're also hungry and confident ahead of their game against Junction tonight.
I think we're really prepared. I think we're ready to go out there and just win it all. Ready to move on to next week and just play hard and fight and just win. We're all fired up, locked in every game and just playing hard, hustling, and just I feel like we got some speed on our team.
We've grown up. They've showed us that the game has slowed down a little bit for them. Each game gets a little bit bigger. It's going to be just a little bit faster, but they've been accepting the challenge up to this point.
Well, for both games will be in about a half an hour here, and we'll provide highlights and everything coming up on 25 News Now at 10. That's going to do it here for sports. Don and Shawna, back to you.
Max, thank you. We're back in a moment. A group of youngsters in Kentucky are looking to bring some cheer into the lives of seniors. Finally tonight, some youngsters in Kentucky are looking to bring some cheer into the lives of seniors. They are known as Nana's Angels, and they will provide hundreds of Christmas cards to area nursing homes. Hundreds of Christmas cards signed, sealed, and waiting to be delivered to 4 different nursing homes. A kind-hearted mission started 2 years after one of the youngsters lost their Nana. So over the next few weeks, hundreds of seniors will be gifted some Christmas cheer thanks to this group of guardian angels.
Look at that. I bet that means a lot to the recipients in the nursing homes.
Yeah, because it can be tough, in different situations in different homes or assisted living, and especially around the holidays. The family is not all there, and so these cards bring that Christmas cheer back, or at least that's what we hope the young ladies do that. And of course,
something we should be doing.
Well, good lesson for the kids too.
Yeah, oh,
to,
absolutely.
Giving to others.
And making us feel like Christmas is colder weather.
You bet. Well, I got that for you. In fact, I've got a pretty sloppy weekend coming up. I already have the alerts up because on Saturday we're looking for substantial rainfall and maybe even heavy rain on Sunday. Just giving you the heads up. Now you know. You stay informed because tomorrow, generally cloudy and a few light showers, but the big stuff coming in over the weekend. Then that front that we see on Monday night, well, that one is finally going to dip us down into the upper 30s by middle of next week. So, yes, it feels like the holidays, doesn't it?
It does.
I guess I don't have a reason this weekend to skip inside work that needs to be done, cleaning and all of that kind of stuff.
They'll be looking at you.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
And we'll see you tonight for 25 News Now at 10. Have a good one.